Can you take us to the next team?
Yeah, Chicago Bulls time. This one was a little bit trickier, I thought, because the construction of the team has changed so much. Where all of a sudden Lonzo Ball is there. We're going to see Nikola Vucevic for a full season. Ayo Dosunmu could make some noise, but
I
I
hope he
feel like
does.
it.
I was high on him. He's a rookie, so we
Yeah,
can pick him, but I
exactly.
really liked him.
I think it has to be Patrick Williams because he was so much more advanced than expected as a rookie. We knew, I think he was the youngest NCAA prospect in that draft class. We knew it was going to, or we thought we knew it was going to take time for him to develop into an actual contributor at the NBA level. Who knew the 3-point stroke was going to be so advanced right away, that his physicality would hold up throughout a season as he showed off that optionality on defense. He legitimately looked like he could contribute in every facet of the game. So I went to 538's player projections, and I was just curious who his comps were going to be, because he feels like a unique player where we don't see that many guys with this skill set. You know, you heard the Kawhi Leonard comparisons going into the draft. And, you know, there are busts scattered throughout those most comparable players through one season. Maurice Harkless is there. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is there. But also among the top 10, Marvin Williams, Aaron Gordon, Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that's just a fascinating blend of different calibers of players and differing skill sets, which I think speaks volumes about how versatile and plug and play in so many different areas he already is as a rising sophomore. So he already has 2 established all-stars who he's playing alongside, and yet it still feels like he could take over and make this like his team in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, look, I picked Patrick Williams as well. I also think, unless you really, hopefully we'll disagree soon, but maybe that'll also make for a more efficient podcast.
We might make it to Indiana.
But I think unless you're going to go with Coby White, or you think that Lonzo Ball is reaching another level in Chicago, which if you think that he's going to all of a sudden run a bunch of pick and rolls, hit a bunch of jumpers off the dribble, then sure, I'm not going to fight against that. Patrick Williams is the obvious candidate. You already focused on his offense, but I'm very curious to see there quickly is that 3-point clip going to translate when he's taking more? And presumably he should have to when you look at the way the rest of the roster is set up. I do sort of wonder if the offensive volume will be available to him based off the personnel around him to show like real advancement. I'd like to see the ball in his hands a little bit more. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm most intrigued with him defensively because he is just, he might be a defensive dynamo. Like, no, I'm not going to compare him to, Kawhi Leonard, but he was the guy on the Chicago Bulls who guarded the number 1 or the number 2 option, essentially, almost irrespective of position. It wasn't someone who was going after a ton of point guards, clearly. His matchup difficulty, according to Basketball Index's matchup difficulty metric, was 88.2, which ranks in the top 25 of guys in the entire league who logged at least 1,800 minutes last season. So, like, that role is what I'm trying to establish. It was a difficult defensive role, and he was fine in it. Like, he wasn't shutting guys down, but when you look at the breadth of assignments that he covered, how hard they were, I really thought he held his own. I don't know if the Bulls are putting him in too compromising of a position to where if he's on the floor with Levine and Vooch and DeRozan at the same time, maybe that's too much pressure. But it wasn't like he was surrounded by a bunch of great defensive talent anyway last season. Thaddeus Young was obviously there, but that's really kind of it. So I think this is someone who's going to shine on defense so much that he's going to be one of the, I don't even want to say unsung heroes of this team if the Bulls hit. I think if the Bulls hit, it'll be very evidently because Patrick Williams has made some sort of material, measurable leap on the defensive end while just emerging as the perfect complement on offense. And the other thing I will wonder is when you look at the structure of this team right now, he might be their backup 5. Now, I don't know if they're planning on playing Derrick Jones Jr. there, but like it can't be Tony Bradley. That can't be your backup. Maybe it is, but he'll get some minutes at the 5. We'll see how maybe those are the lineups in which his offense could hum even more. And there's also the element of default here. I don't think this roster is set up anymore for Coby White to even break out. And like I said, I am a Lonzo Ball believer, but I think the best version of him is kind of a more extreme version of what we saw last season and not someone who has broadened their skill set significantly.
Right. Patrick Williams turned 20 last week. There's so much potential left. I don't think I would be that surprised. Be a little surprised. I don't know that I'd be shocked if we're talking about the Bulls with 3 All-Star candidates this coming season.
And Patrick Williams is one of them?
And Patrick Williams is one of them.
That would shock me.
I'm that high on him.
My God.